Welcome back to Verkada and Networking, a series of videos where I explain basic network concepts for those of you who might be interested in picking these concepts up while setting up your first Verkada deployment. In the previous video, I talked about DHCP as a way to dynamically assign addresses to any Verkada device that's connected to your local area network. And let's say you logged into your switch. I have a switch at home that allows me to do all this configuration via a graphical interface. All I need to do is choose to run a DHCP server, specify different DNS servers, add fixed IP assignments, and click save. The reality is that your device might actually have a command line. So all you need to do is go to your vendor's documentation and figure out how to create your server. But let's say you have the HCP, you're very happy that if you plug a Verkada device in, it will connect. You plug it into a port, maybe you found one on a wall or under a floor in your office, and surprise, surprise, the device doesn't come online. So what can be wrong? Well, the reality is that in a corporate environment, as best practice, these ports are either shut down or they demand authentication, and it will block all the devices that do not supply the right credentials. And the reason why IT professionals would do that is because those ports are a gateway into the local infrastructure. So anybody can come in with a laptop and an Ethernet cable, plug in, and possibly have access to the rest of the estate. And then from there, start understanding what's around it and start carrying different types of attacks. So remember, just because you found one of these ports, it doesn't mean that one, it is active, and two, it doesn't have any sort of authentication. As you can imagine, the Verkada devices have no way to authenticate with usernames and passwords, etc. So the thing that you need to do at this point, or advise the IT person, is do what's called the MAC authentication bypass, in which you will supply the MAC addresses of those devices. Remember, each of them will have a unique one. And then the IT professional will go in within that switch and whitelist it. So I have a switch here in the garage that's connected to multiple cameras. All I need to do is click on that particular port, then into its configuration, then select the MAC allow list as part of the access policy, typing in one or multiple MAC addresses that I want to connect. And that means that if for any particular reason somebody unplugs that device and plugs their own, well, the MAC address will change and the port will go into an error state and block all the traffic, generating an alert so the IT person will be aware of that breach in policy. Needless to say, there are methods and software out there that will allow you to actually change MAC addresses and spoof them. So we also need to create other fallback mechanisms to make sure that we can cope with these situations, but that is the topic for our next video.